not been written.
And the in-movie experience is like the meat of the Blu-ray. You know,
There is no fate.
it's like the main special feature. Goes deeper into the movie. Hold on. Damn, that's beautiful.
My philosophy in making this movie is that even though we had arguably the biggest star in the world playing arguably the most famous movie character of all time, the real star of this movie had to be the story, and that nothing could overshadow it. Everything had to be in service of the story. So it meant there was never an action sequence just to have an action sequence. It always had to be about pushing the narrative forward. I thought about how much of the future war was appropriate to show in this movie, which really was set in the current day with these characters rooted in a very kind of real-world situation. But I knew that I couldn't ignore it either because it's part of the mythology, and I had to also remind the audience of what happens in the future, because you always have to assume that there's certain people who either have never seen a Terminator movie or forgot what it was. So we put a very sort of short, condensed scene in there. It's maybe only 30 or 45 seconds. I think Kristanna Loken can, for the rest of her life, lay claim to probably being the only person to ever stroll down Rodeo Drive completely naked. Maybe a streaker did it in the 70s perhaps, but certainly never like she did it.
Right after I got the job, Jonathan said to me, so, now I know we haven't spoken about this, but we have that, and I knew right before he even said anything, I just said, yeah, I'll do it. And, you know, how can you pass up an opportunity of being nude on Rodeo Drive?
As I started shooting the movie, friends and various people would ask, you know, how is it dealing with Arnold? You know, you know, can you even tell him to do anything? I mean, my God, after all, he's the title character, he's the big star here, and you're like the new director. Is he directable? And the answer was a huge yes. And, you know, what any great movie star understands is that filmmaking is a storytelling medium. We hit it off immediately, even before the movie began, and we were very much creatively in sync, and he was a fantastic professional presence on the set. He was always prepared. He would do as many takes as I wanted. I remember him once saying, I said, gee, you know, we've done like 9 takes or something. I said, gee, Arnold, I'm sorry, we gotta do another take. This is never apologize to me for doing more takes. It's like repetitions. I'll do as many as it takes to get, you know, the muscle right. And he was so professional and so committed that also radiated out to the entire crew. I mean, you know, he was really the role model of how to be on the set, and when you have a star like that who's sending out that signal, it just makes it just an incredibly pleasant working environment.
You know, I was thinking about reviewing this sometime soon, because it's starting to grow on me, actually. I mean, first of all, because of this Blu-ray, it's like just fucking beautiful. Like, I don't know if it looks as good on this camera, but to me, like, it's one of the best looking I've seen. And you know, the features like the in-movie experience and the commentaries, you know, as they explain, you know, their ideas behind making it and what went into it and all that. You know, the movie's like, I'm starting to get it more. I get where they, you know, where they were coming from with it. Because at first I thought it was like too comedic and not epic enough, you know, like not as epic as T2. And it's not, but, you know, I'm starting to, like, I don't really mind the comedy anymore. Next we got Terminator Salvation. The director's cut. It's got the director's cut and the theatrical version with the special features on this. This theatrical cut. And I think I had like a, well, yeah, I have a Target exclusive director's cut on DVD of Terminator Salvation. And it's the same thing, you know, it's like only one scene. Let me see. Like a few nips and tucks here and there that they took out, I guess, for time or whatever. And there's this like extended scene with, let me see. Sam Worthington and Moon Bloodgood. Let me see, what was her name? God, I forget her name in the movie, but the woman he sort of fell in love with a little bit, I guess. It's like a scene where she's like topless, you know, with her back turned, and they sort of like look at each other, like they're just sort of playing that love interest sort of thing, but you know, they took it out of the theatrical one. And let me see. This one has like the Moto Terminator discovered a unique collaboration between the filmmakers and Ducati. It's about those Terminator motorcycles that you see like midway through the movie. I think John Connor trips one of them while the Guns N' Roses song from T2 is playing. And they chase Kyle and Marcus down the road like throughout the movie. But it's like a featurette about those bikes, and then reforging the future, see how the filmmakers reinvented the franchise and took it to depths never seen before. And it's basically, you're basically making a featurette. But once again, like Terminator 3, the meat of this Blu-ray is the in-movie experience.
The importance of this scene is that it all plays in one shot. I wanted to establish a compelling action sequence without using any cuts. So we stitched together a great many setups, all done without the overt sense of, whoops, there was a camera cut there. We actually began in a field out in the deserts of New Mexico as Christian crawls up out of the hole, sees a dead Terry Crews, and then as he registers the transport taking off in the distance, we're going to hide a cut, our first cut, on the whip pan right there. Hold it, and now we're in the parking lot of the Albuquerque studios. And you see here all this dirt brought in and everything we did to create this giant setup, and we painted the back of the sound stages blue so that can be stitched into the shot overall without ever knowing that we went from one environment to the other. And as you let it play, you see Connor's going to go up and get into the helicopter. He doesn't realize that the pilot's dead. He's going to ask him to go after the transport. Whoops, it's getting worse for Connor here topside, but he's a thrifty soldier and he's going to fly the helicopter because he does what he's got to do. And we're still on the arm of what's called a super technocrane. We're in the parking lot. And we stay on that arm all the way up and out like this as we sheet the background moving to the explosion. You see the hole that he crawled out of, and big explosion. And as the helicopter spins around on this move in right here, cut, stop right there. This is where we hide a cut, moving from the arm of the technocrane to a handheld camera on the shoulder of a camera operator inside the body of the helicopter. Let it roll. The important component of this scene is to show our Alice in Wonderland character, Marcus, coming into a world that he doesn't understand. He doesn't know if he's alive or dead. He doesn't know where he is. You see how Sam plays that and the look on his face. If you freeze it right there, ultimately on the back of the head of the T-600. And I didn't want to give it away. I wanted to feel the surprise of the Marcus character saying, what is that? Go ahead and let it roll. And you see, as it rolls on, just as he's about to read the gun, it's too late. The machine gun fire opens up on the Marcus character. And he's only looking to be saved by a young Kyle Reese. And in retrospect, almost like a reverse engineering of the picture, it's designed to play like Bruce Willis being dead in The Sixth Sense. The T-600 was ultimately shooting at Kyle Reese, not at Marcus, as Marcus is indeed a part of Skynet.
Yeah, the picture is just amazing. And the sound. It's probably the second best Blu-ray I've seen so far. Which brings me to the best Blu-ray I've seen so far.